Yeah, you can start now.
जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय महेश मुख चंद चकोरी, जय महेश मुख चंद चकोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय बदन शरानन माता, जय जय वदन शरानन माता, जगत जननी दामिनी दुति गाता, जगत जननी दामिनी दुति गाता, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, नहीं तब आदि मध्यावसान, नहीं तब आदि मध्यावसान, अमित प्रभाव वेद नहीं जाना, अमित प्रभाव वेद नहीं जाना, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय महेश मुख चंद चकोरी, जय महेश मुख चंद चकोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, भव भव विभव पराभव कारिणी, भव भव विभव पराभव कारिणी, बेस्वभिमोहिनी स्वभस बिहारिणी, बेस्वभिमोहिनी स्वभस बिहारिणी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय महेश मुख चंद चकोरी, जय महेश मुख चंद चकोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय जय गिरिवर, जय जय गिरिवर, जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी। हरि ओम नमो नारायणाय, ओम नमो नारायणाय, हरि ओम नमो नारायणाय, हरि ओम नमो नारायणाय, ओम जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे हो। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। राम राम रटते रहो, जब लग घट में प्राण। कभी तो दीन दयाल के भनक पड़ेगी कान। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। तुलसी इस संसार में सबसे मिलिए धार। ना जाने किस रूप में नारायण मिल जाए। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। राम नाम रटते रहो, जब लग घट में प्राण। कभी तो दीन दयाल के भनक पड़ेगी कान। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। बड़े भय तो क्या भय, जैसे पेड़ खजूर। पंथी को छाया नहीं, फल लगाती दूर। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। तुलसी इस संसार में, तुलसी इस संसार में सबसे मिलिए धार। ना जाने किस रूप में नारायण मिल जाए। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। गुरु गोविंद दोनों खड़े, काके लागू पाए। बलहारी प्रभु आपकी, बलहारी गुरु आपकी। जिन गोविंद दियो बताए। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। कबीरा हरि के रूठते, गुरु की शरणी जाए। कहे कबीर गुरु रूठते, हरि नहीं होत सहाय। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण। Namah Shivaya, Om 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 Namah Shivaya.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatye Namaha, Shri Satgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Marudhatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagyavruddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Satchitanandarupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Umah Nilam Bhujasyamalako Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvamshanatham. Om Shri Tapovanam Sadgurave Namaha. We have seen up to verse number 7. There our Param Guru has given us the idea that the entire creation is a projection. All the five Panchabhutas, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Abha, Prithvi, all of them are projection of Bhagavan, like in a dream. So like the example was given there, like we mistake the rope for snake or a garland for snake. So the snake is superimposed upon the garland. And this is what exactly the creation also. Now continuing our thought is giving in the 8th verse a beautiful explanation. This is called Pravesha Shruti. Today I mentioned Yasarvameda srijati vasrishtva Jivaswarupena cha tat pravishya karoti bhunkte brahmativa kumbhi yantropamam tam badari shamire. Yaha sarvametas srijativa sushtva jivaswarupena cha tat pravishya karoti bhunkte brahmativa kumbhi yantropamam tam badari shamire. Yaha, who, sarvam etat, this world, srijati iva. Now the iva shabda is to be carefully noted. Iva means as though creates. It is not real creation, it is as though created. Having created Srishtva, Jivaswarupena, he enters it as an individualized ego. This topic is discussed very elaborately in Taittiriya Upanishad. Brahmanandavalli. Tas srishtva tadevanupravishad. So kamayata bahusyam prajayeti satapo tapyata satapastaptva idagam sarvamasajata yatitam kincha tasrishtva tadevanupravishad tadanupravishya satchatyacha bhavat. So this is the Upanishad statement. And this statement is called Anupravesha Suti. Therefore, every Jivatma is Paramatma itself. And therefore, every existence of the Jivatma is the proof of the existence of Paramatma. Because Paramatma entered the creation is called Jivatma. And how this Paramatma acts like Jivatma? In order to understand this, we generally take the example of our own dream. The creation of dream is very much similar to the creation of this world. And therefore, we take dream example for understanding the creation. Of course, there are certain differences between Swapna Srishti and Jagrat Srishti. There is no 100% similarity. But this is only closer example. When the example is given, we should focus only upon the common features. He should not focus on the uncommon features. When we say he is the pillar of the organization, here we should see the common features. Pillar support the building. Similarly, this person supports the organization. With the pillar removed, the building collapses. So too, if this person quits the organization collapses. You should not argue the pillar is round, but the person compared here is thin. Like this, you should not argue. So too, Swapna example cannot be 100% same. Bhagavan or Ishvara creates this world by mere sankalpa. We also creates the dream world by mere sankalpa. Sankalpa means thought. Without taking any time, yugapat. not one by one. Dream also you don't create one by one. First you create the train and then you enter it, nothing like that. The whole thing comes yugabat at once. Just as our dream is a projection from ourselves, so too this world is a projection from Ishvara. And having created the Swapna Prapancha, what do? The various things projected in the dream are meant for experience. And so we require an experience of the dream world. Otherwise, the dream world is useless. And therefore, who creates the experience of the dream? And when you analyze, you will find an interesting thing. We are the creators of Swapna. We ourselves enter into Swapna Prapancha and we become the dream experiencers. Experiencer or experiences also. Experiencer, experienced, experiencing, all the three, Triputi. The waker, creator creates the dream, and waker, creator himself become the dream experiencer. And how do I accomplish this? The process involved here, the dream creator is waker, entering the dream and experiencing the dream. This event, how does it happen? If you analyze what happened is, until the dream is created, I am identified with this physical body as a waker. As a waker, I am identified with this physical body. And I know I am lying on the bed. I am identified with this body. And the moment the Swapna Prapancha is created within the dream world, one of the creation is a special body for my own use. Because I know I cannot use the waker's physical body for the dream transaction. Therefore, I have to shed this body, as it were, in the bed itself, and to transact within the dream world, I require another type of dream body called Vasana-maya Shariram. So the dream body is Vasana-maya Shariram. Means it is projected by my own mind. Among many things, one of the things I project is Vrittimaya Shariram, born of thought. And I myself take on that Swapna Shariram, dropping this Jagrat Shariram. Here again, I am reborn into Swapna Prapancha. I die to the Jagrat Prapancha, leaving this physical body. Because in sleep, this physical body is as good as dead body. That is why early morning you get up, you should take a bath. Because during sleep, you have become a dead body, a corpse. Therefore, there is inauspiciousness. So you have to take a bath in the morning. Having dropped your body on the bed, you take on to another body and set of senses also. Dream form and colors are seen, not with the same eyes by your eyeglass, because your eyeglasses have been removed before sleeping. You cannot use the same pair of eyes to see the dream object in the dream. we also got Swapna, Sparsha, Rasa, Gandha, etc. And all of them are perceived by the Swapna Shariram and Swapna senses, sense organs. And not only that, using the dream body, you travel also to Kashi, Rameshwaram, New York, Tokyo, Paris, etc. With the dream vehicles. And also eat dream food. Means the waker becomes a product in the dream world. And the amazing thing is, even though I myself created the dream, time and space, but still I am subject to the dream, time and space. Therefore, as a waker, identifying with waking body, I am the creator of the dream world. But in the dream world, I become a creature, the created. And the experiencer in the dream, the conscious principle is not different from the conscious principle obtaining in the waking world. Therefore, the experiencer is one and the same. The upadhi's medium of experience is different. The body differs, but the experiencer consciousness is one and the same. Then the question is, how do you know the waker alone has entered the dream world and experiencing the dream? This is because after waking up, I myself tell, I had a terrible dream. Therefore, it is very clear. Waker, the creator, the dreamer, the created, both are one and the same. But when I am identified with the dream body, I never claim I am a creator. While in the dream, I think I am one of the dream objects or enjoyer. Never I think I myself created these objects. Therefore, as long as I am identified with the dream body, I am an ordinary individual. But the moment I wake up, what do? I disidentify from the dream body and identify with this waking body. And the world within the dream, I can claim that I am the creator, sustainer, and destroyer. Therefore, whether I am karyam or karanam, karya means effect, karanam means cause, depend upon whether I am identified with the dream body or waking body. Now, why I said all these things? Because it is to be connected. Now extend the same principle. Vedanta says, as long as I am identified with the waker's body, I feel I am an individual within the world. And I am called Jivatma, who is experiencing Sukham, Dukkham, etc. I can never claim this world is within me. The world is very much outside of me. And I am located here and limited by the body. The moment I disidentify from this body, then I am no more the Jivatma located in the world. I can claim I am the Paramatma, and from me, the Paramatma alone, with the help of Maya, the whole creation has come. So all of us, we are essentially Paramatma. That's the idea. We have forgotten our glory by identifying with our body, mind, intellect, and behave like a jiva, a miserable creature. Like you created your own dream, you created yourself a dreamer, and then suffer. The tiger, you created it, and you are afraid of the tiger. So this is the whole key here. I have created this world, and with the world I have created a body, and I am identifying with that body. I become an individual, and the moment I disidentify from this body, I am the creator, Paramatma. Therefore, Paramatma alone entered every body and functioning as Jivatma. So this is the Pravesha Shruti. Tasrishtva Tadevanu Pravishat. Having created, he entered. It is not that having created, he entered is like he created a house, a Griha Pravesham day, he entered. No. Bhagavan is all pervasive. Like pot space entered the pot. So pot space, there is no entry there. In fact, the pot is made in the space only. Without space, a pot cannot be made. So entry means here identification. He got identified. In short, we understand this manner, in this way, that the whole creation, the waking world, is Bhagavan's dream, Ishvara's dream. We are all part of his dream. Like we have our dream, and in our dream we create so many objects, and sometimes so many living beings also we create, our friends, our relatives, our enemies, our relation, wife, children, family, etc. we create. So that the same way, Paramatma, in his, that's why this waking world is different. It looks like it is lasting longer than dream world. Gaudavada Acharya says there is no difference between your dream and the waking world. There is no difference. Everything is same. So that is what the point our Param Guru is making. Srijati Iva. So here he very carefully uses the word Iva. Iva means as though created. It is not, it is an apparent creation, because creation cannot be taken as real or unreal. So this, if you say it is real, it should be there all the time. It is not there. So the world itself is not the same. When you are a child, your childhood, the world was different. As you grow up, life, the world is different. And now you see, the whole world has changed. For the last 6-7 months, think about it, the whole world lifestyle has changed. Before we like to have parties and all that, now nobody can party. And even I saw one picture, somebody sent me the Golu. They made a Golu also, they put this mask. They put mask. See, it is the modern Golu. All Bhagavan also wearing mask now. They cannot talk each other without this. So that is the situation. So Srijati Iva Jiva Sarupena. So Jiva, every Jiva is Paramatma playing a fool. That is the beauty about it. And this we have to realize. This is the whole purpose of life. Everything else is secondary. We are not telling that other things you should not do. Even if you tell you also, you are not going to listen to anyway. So what is the point telling? But then the point is the main goal should not be forgotten. Lakshachudam. Lakshyam should not be forgotten. Everything else you do, but that is secondary. This is the primary thing. What? Having come, now think about it, all our Chinmaya Mission devotees, having come to the fold of our Gurudev and blessed with a great Guru like our Guru, and having got the opportunity to study the scriptures under able teachers, and why do we not, why we should waste our time? We should think about this more often than not. So that is the urge of our Param Guru here in these verses that he has written. So karoti bhunkte. So jivaswarupena tat pravishya, and having entered. Karoti bhunkte brahmati iva, seemingly experience. I do, I enjoy. That Paramatma is having entered, means having identified with the body, mind, intellect equipment. He think that he is enjoying and he is doing, he become the doer, enjoyer. And therefore, once you identify with that, then what happens? Samsara starts. What is the samsara here? Kumpi yantropamam. It is like a water wheel goes round and round. So the water wheel, the buckets of water will be there in a wheel, and it collects water and turn up, and as it comes down, it pour down the water, and then again it goes down and collects water and come up and then pour down and collects like that. The same way, we have come here with a bucket of water, bucket of vasanas to exhaust. Then what happened? We collect again. And that is the problem. We don't exhaust it. We will, in the process of exhausting, we collect. Something like we go to a shopping mall with a list of items. But having gone there, what happened? We add to the list some more. So nobody buys what exactly in the list and come back. No, only the husbands do. But wives don't do that. So we have come this world to exhaust our vasanas, shopping list. But then what happened? We keep on adding. And that will give you another birth. And in that birth also we repeat the same. Then it will give you another birth. It goes on. How long we keep going? This is like a kumbhi yantropamam, a water wheel goes round and round. Tam Badarisham ide. That Badarisha, who is none other than Paramatma, none other than our inner consciousness. That is why in all our Shastra, the consciousness is something that need not be proved. Everything else you need to be proved. Consciousness you don't have to prove. Why? Because it is already there. And without that, you will not be able to think. Without that, you will not be able to transact anything. The very ability to question itself is because of the presence of consciousness. So that presence is so evident that no other proof is required. So that's the idea. So here, ya sarvame tasjati vasashtva jivaswarupena chatat pravishya karoti bhunkte brahmativa kumbhi yantropamam tam Badrisha meethe. To that Badrisha, my namaskar. Continuing. 9th verse. Dehohametat dravinam griham cha mamedi mohat abhimanyamana ha handa dukkai shatashodhayoyam klishyantyaham tam badarishamide. Dehaha aham. I am this body, this idea. Either this ideas, Dravidam, wealth, this is my wealth. Griham, this is my house. Cha mamayiti, mohat, out of delusion. Abhimanyamanaha, we arrogate ourselves. Ha hanta, shatasaha dukke klishyati. Alas, he comes to suffer himself innumerable sorrows. Atha, as a result of which, aham tam badrisham ite. Because of this delusion, he comes to suffer. And that Badrisha, who is none other than Paramatma, the support of the whole universe, earlier he said he is the seed of the whole creation. He is the creator, sustainer, dissolver. That he has forgotten himself and come to suffer, identifying with this body. What? This is my house, this is my wealth, this is my family, this is my children. So, we are not telling you should not have that. Now, tomorrow, after listening to this lecture, tomorrow you go and tell you are not my children. Don't say that. That is not the point. Our attachment, identification is to be slowly removed. How? When you attach, mind is something that cannot remain without attachment. So it is right now invested all its energy into what? The family, business, bank balance, house, friends, children, etc. It is invested there completely. Now you are telling that these are all apparent, these are all not real. And you suddenly detach, then what happened? Mind feel lonely. Mind feel frustrated. So you should not do that. You should give slowly a mind something more endearing, something more rewarding, something more deeper, something more enjoyable. So that is Bhagavat Katha, Bhagavat Kirtanam, Bhagavat Japam, Chintanam, Kirtanam, Japam, Mityadi of Bhagavan. And the mind start enjoying it. So mind take time to get a taste of it. It takes some time. Initially we have to force, but slowly mind start enjoying it. And once mind enjoying it, then what happened? Slowly you can direct the mind towards higher thoughts. So this is how detachment comes. Vairagya should not be practiced suddenly. That is why children or youngsters, sometimes they go crazy. You should not do that. Slowly and steadily you should practice this. So, Bhagavan, our Guru says here that Dehohame Tatravinam Griham Chamamedi Mohat Abhimanyamanaha. Because the more you possess, the ego gets solidified. So that is why Bhagavan want to bless somebody. he will remove everything from him. So there is a beautiful story that Lord Krishna and Arjuna, they went for a walk. And after some time they walked. I think it is too long they walked, I think. Or they got lost in the conversation, they forgot. Suddenly they felt very hungry. So they thought, but they were not in their usual form. They were disguised as ordinary human beings. So they were hungry and they went and knocked at one rich man's house. And he opened the door and asked, "Yes, we are hungry, we want some food." And that rich man looked at the youngsters who are very healthy looking guys, handsome and healthy. And he said, "What? You are begging for food? You look very healthy. Go, there is no food here." He closed the door. And Bhagavan coming back, he said, "May his wealth increase." He blessed him. Then again, now still hungry. There was a poor man's place was there. And Bhagavan said, "Let us go here." And he had only one cow and a calf. And the old man invited both the youngsters and milked the cow and boiled the milk and put some badam and all that in that. Badam kheer, he banaya, and he gave it to him. Both of them drank nicely, enjoyed it. And Bhagavan coming out of the house, may his cow and calf die. How Arjuna got angry. What is this? This is the person who gave us food. We were hungry, and you are not blessing, you are cursing. Yeah. The only solace that they have is that calf and the cow, and you destroy that also. Whereas that person who refused us, you increase his wealth. What is this? Your action is something that is so contradictory to normal thing. What is this? He asked. So Bhagavan said, "Look, that rich man, he will come to me. The more money is there, more distance he will be with me. He will never be able to reach me. He'll get lost in the wealth and power and position and status. Whereas that old man has got only one thing that is blocking him from me. That is that cow and the calf. I remove that, then he will automatically come to me. So when I want to bless somebody, I remove all his possession." That is why Mahabali story also, you see. That is what Brahmaji said, "It is unfair that you are doing." When he increased his size and measured the whole world, and there was no place for the third step. And at that time, Brahmaji himself came and told, in Bhagavatam, very beautifully said, "Bhagavan, what are you doing? You are cheating." And Bhagavan said, "You shut up, you don't know what I am doing." I know what I am doing. Is that when he wants to bless his devotee, he take away everything from him. And all finite things is taken away. And what is given is infinite. Yeah, that is the beauty here. So, a person, the more you possess, the ego gets solidified. So that's why our Gurudev writes here, "Alas, man is but the fallen god, and having fallen suffers his delusory sorrows in an imperfect world built up by his own dreams. Thou art a lion rolling in agony, and weeping that you are bound down by a deer. How is that possible? So wake up. That is why the call of the Upanishad, Utishtada, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhada. So in the field of the world of object, the ego, the subject of all experiences, cannot suffer or enjoy by itself. If the infinite consciousness were not present, to that infinite consciousness, Sri Badrinath, our Tapoji Maharaj says, I salute. So even though we are suffering in and through the suffering, what is that? We have to observe that I am able to suffer, or I am able to recognize my suffering, because of whose presence. If that insight is there, then you will not suffer. That in whose presence I am able to see my suffering, that presence is Paramatma. That Paramatma is Badrinath. So to that Badrinath, my salutations. Annadikosh, the 10th verse. Annadikosheshvavivekato yat tadatmyamapadyatatiya dharman adhyasyati swatmani jiva bhutaha staulyadikamstam batarishamide. Annadikosheshu. Panchakosha Viveka, you must have done in Tattva Bodha, Viveka Chudamani. All Prakarana Granthas in Atma Bodha, all the Prakarana Granthas, this is very well discussed. The origin of this particular topic is Taittiriya Upanishad. There is a Panchakosha Viveka is there. Panchakosha is Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Koshaha. So that is what is being referred here in this verse. That Paramatma. Now look at this. Brahman is subtler than even space. Space is subtler than all other elements. Therefore, it is all pervasive. Its pervasiveness is much more than other elements. And that space itself is supported by Paramatma. Therefore, Paramatma is subtler than space. Now, that Paramatma get reflected in the mind, in our mind. The reflecting media for that Paramatma is our mind. Mind is originally inert, insentient, but the moment it comes in contact with consciousness, it gets enlivened. And once it gets enlivened, then what happened? The mind's nature is thoughts, thinking. The I thought rises. And that I thought is called ahankara. That identifying with the mind, I am this mind, it start thinking, Then I am this body, it start thinking. Then the world, etc., it gets identified. So here our Param Guru says that this ahankara identify with Panchakosha, Annamaya. Annamaya means physical body. Annadi kosheshu. And so in Taittiriya Upanishad, the elaborate discussion is there on this. Why it is called Annamaya? Because it is born of Annam. Annam, food. Grow up with food. Then afterwards it becomes food for others, food for the worms, etc. Therefore it is called Annamaya. Then Pranamaya, Pancha Pranas, the physiological function. Then Manomaya, mind is seat of emotion. Then Vijnanamaya, so intellect. Then Anandamaya, Vasanas, so subconscious, where Janma Janmantara Vasanas are recorded. Before we human being discovered computer and megabytes and things like that, gigabytes, Bhagavan has already done it in the form of a chip that is fitted in us. We are all come with a chip, vasanas. And how many gigabytes it has got, we have no idea. And this is the one that makes us identify because of old samskara. That's why a child born, you don't have to tell the child, beta, be careful with your body, don't leave it anywhere. No. It automatically get identified with the body. It is samskara, old samskara. So, annadi kosheshu avivekato yaha tadatmyamapatya tatiya dharman. Tadatmyam, identification, their dharma, their imperfection also, their limitations also. He considered it is his limitation. When you identify with the body, body limitation becomes your limitation. Emotional limitations, intellectual limitations, all of them. Whereas, who is telling this? Whereas your nature is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent is your real nature. And what are you thinking? I am limited, I am miserable, I am dukhi. Adyasya dis swatmani jiva bhutaha. So, having assumed the jiva status through lack of discrimination, jiva budha, jiva status, staulyadikan, an imperfection of layers of personality, to the Lord of Badri, to that Badrinath, my namaskar. But who is that person behaving like a fool? It is really Badrinath. That Paramatma alone is behaving like a fool. This is because of Maya. That is the power of Maya. Aho Maya, he says. Then, so Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Koshaha. So one who identified is a Jiva. The Jiva itself, earlier Bhagavan made it very clear that Jiva itself is Paramatma. So that is why all Mahavakyas are possible. Mahavakyas are Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam. The oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma is what is given in Mahavakya. That is possible only when it is true. So what is to be done for us? This Panchakosha Viveka is given to us to understand the limitations of these upadhis and transcend these upadhis one by one, and then own up our real nature, that is Paramatma. So this is the idea of Panchavakosha Viveka. And then continuing 11th verse. Tatha cha yasmin pramriti prameya pramatra bhavan parikalpya jantu pashyami yamityanisham prayunkte shabdan mudadam badarishamide. Tatha cha, thus yasminne, he in whom pramiti prameya pramada bhavan, the attitude of knower, knowledge, known, triputi, parikalpya, having projected. So look at the dream example. The dreamer is himself. The dream object is also himself. The dream experience with the objects. Sometimes Sukham Dukkham also you experience in dream. All of them are what? Nothing but myself, my mind. Here also all these Triputi, experiencer, experienced, experiencing. Because of our ignorance, we think that they're all different. I see, I go, pashyami, yami, iti, I see, I go, and so on. Anisham, prayunkte, shabdan, mudha, invetam, badarisham, ide. So all these triputis, that experiencer, experienced, experiencing, the three factors, the subject, object, relationship. This triple disintegration of the one eternal self is a delusory projection. In fact, they are not three, they are only one. What is that? Your own ego. That is what it is. So what is to be done is, in and through all the triputis, we have to recognize without the infinite reality, the only truth, the seer, the seen, and the seeing, or knower, known, and knowing, never possible. So think about the undercurrent of these verses. In and through, he never failed to direct us to the Paramatma. which is your real nature. And he is compared here with Badrinath. That is all. The name is given. But what he is telling is, you are that Paramatma. Don't get carried away with all these mind's tricks. The trick of the mind is to take you away from Paramatma, to make you get lost in the thoughts, whether in the form of Panchakosha or in the form of Triputis. All these are diversions that is given to you by the mind. What you have to think is that in and through that, what is that illumining factor? The one that is illumining this three-factor Triputi, experiencer, experience, experiencing. Who is that illumining factor? With whose light, in whose light I am able to see it? Our attention to be directed towards that. Then what happened? These things slowly diminishes. The mind will slowly get settled. The distraction will go. Otherwise, mind will take you for a trip. You get carried away with that. Carried away with what? Which means what? You get entangled with those things. So too, when the truth in its all-pervasive glory is apprehended, the present realm of transaction, steeped with its insufferable imperfection, naturally ceases. So the delusory Triputi rolls away. And what happened? Your mind gets an insight into your own real nature. And once you get it, then mind will never leave that. Until then, it is a struggle. Therefore, sadhana is required. The sadhana part he will tell you later. So what sadhana is to be done? To purify the mind. The mind is free from ragadvesha. So ragadvesha can be removed by karma yoga. And then mind has to become steady. Steadiness of mind gains through upasana. Then after upasana and karma yoga, the mind is ready for inquiry. Such a mind is taken to the field of inquiry. And with that inquiry, one can gain the knowledge. And through nididhyasana, meditation, one should remove all the habits that we have collected in lives. The purpose of meditation is to remove all the habits. Realization takes place in the class, Vedanta class. Revelation takes place at that time. The teacher is able to reveal the truth. But because of our habit, what happened? It gets covered. So when you intently listen to the teacher, you get clearance. But the moment you get up, then what happened? It covers again. And that is because of our habit. And those habits are to be removed. That can be removed only through practice of meditation. So we shall see that. And this is the trend of these 25 verses. So we are only on 11. Tomorrow we will see another 5, that's all. Even 25, I don't think I can complete. Now you got the hang of it. You can read yourself now. Okay. I didn't want to rush it. That's why.